G'day my friends, welcome to Marty's Garden with another exciting victory garden, yes, cost of living victory garden video for you, part of the series. And today we're talking about foam boxes versus plastic boxes with a great twist, the grow bag. Now I'm using all three at the moment and comparing all three as we go through this video. But first, what we want to talk about is the differences between the two. Well, actually the three, and then you can choose whether you just use one. Want to use one of them? You want to use all three of them or just two of them? Which one is best for you? Now I'm going to say first off, the foam box, she's free, literally free from the back of the IGA store, and it does have a lot of benefits. Now the plastic pot cost me $4 from the local co-op. Holds around about 15 litres. I think this guy would hold probably close to 20 litres. And then this bag here, around about 12 litres. And we'll talk about the difference of that as well. And just a little sideline tip at the end, this other type of foam box that doesn't have any drainage at the end and what you can use those for. Now, first thing, if we're going for cost of living, saving money and doing the best we can to grow food with limited dollars, and this is the one for you. Now the light coming off this is insane. It's burning my eyes. White light reflects light amazingly better than black plastic, and there are some really good benefits to that. If you've been watching the series, you would have hopefully already caught that, and if you did, let me know in the comments box down below what you think some of the benefits of this container is. And also we know that there are some things that may not be so good about this but haven't been proven yet, such as toxins taken up in the plants. Plants we know so far can uptake heavy metal minerals, but not so far that we know about of tests for BPAs and things like that. But there is a whole concern, and if you have the money, I would prefer that you eventually go for a good black plastic quality, high quality container that is going to last you for many years. And then if you want to go one step further, obviously this has a lot of advantages. But the grow box, well, the foam box, oh, the light coming off this thing, that's one of the advantages of it, is when you're first getting started and you've got a free box, you can fill it full of a really good potting mix and grow plants in it. And if you only fill it up about 2/3 of the way, it reflects a lot of light all around inside this container, creating like an amazing little greenhouse, which will really photosynthesize your plants and it'll create a bit more heat. Also, if you're in a cooler spot, and in the summertime, because it's white, the roots won't cook as well, and it's insulated. So there are the good points of that, and there's lots of drainage holes in these, as long as you don't damage them and let the sort of the foam start going everywhere. If you've got a damaged one already, don't use it. Go for a best condition one that you can find that doesn't have any nicks and crannies and things in it like that, if you can. So the foam box, I really like it, but you know, it has its drawbacks and its benefits. You can also cover over with a little plastic lid or something like that and create a little greenhouse out of it if you want to make even more heat inside and reflect the light around to bring up seedlings and stuff. And I talked about that in the basil grow video, which was just recently back a couple of videos. Now the plastic pot, obviously this is a food grade heavy plastic, as I said, $4, nice big drainage holes in it, nice and deep, which is really good for plants that have a deep rooted system, such as like tomatoes and those things that want to get a nice big long root down. And you could stick it into the ground like I've got at the back here, the victory garden, onto the bales, and they'll go out into the bales or into the compost or into the soil down below and keep on growing, and you can contain it that way. They get warm, like it's already hot. So in cooler places, if you want to warm the roots up and put them out in the sun, that will help the plant think that summer's coming quicker, and it will give it better growth, especially if you put it in a corner where there's some reflecting light, in the corner of a house or something like that. So some great benefits if you get a good high quality pot. Now I expect I would get 4 to 5 years out of a pot like that for $4. Pretty happy with that. Now this little guy here, as I said, I'd show it at the end, but let's get it out of the way. If you've got one like that, You can create a deeper one, which I have. I've got a bigger one. You can create a little wicking bed system in them if you're low in water. So you just make a little water tank down below, fill them up, and get your plants growing that way. You can also use them as a little box to put your seedlings in and store water in, soak the water up and use them that way. You could also put little seedling plants in there and create a little foam box greenhouse as well. So I really like those for that. Super cheap way to get started. Now, one of my all-time favorites out of this is the Geo Felt grow bag. You can get these at Aussie Gardener now. They just, I think they were, they didn't have any for a while. They've got them again. And so grab them before they sell out because they're absolutely just awesome. Now the beauty of these things is they suck up water. So you can just put them on a spot and they'll take up the water. And because they get airflow through the side of the material, the roots don't wrap around like they would inside a pot or a container where they slowly wrap around and sort of strangle themselves and they can't get food and things like that. What happens is the roots come to the side here, they hit the air, they split out and grow more hair and feeder roots, which then helps feed the plant. And so you can grow a bigger plant in something like this. Like this is much bigger, but you could grow the same size plant in this. Now I like these because I stick these on top of my bale gardens or in places where I want the water to go through and down into that space because I'm working on building soils and I want maybe other plants that are around it to get that moisture. So any moisture that passes through that will go to another plant beside it or down into the ground for the worms and microbes and things like that. And so I really love these. Two little handles on the side. You can grow lots of different types of plants. They come in all different sizes. They are probably the most expensive out of all the options, but it's available for 10% off down using my link and code at the Aussie Gardener store. So I can get you a bit of a discount on those if you decide to go. Now I do have plants and I'm going to pull them up and show you the ones that are growing in the foam boxes, in the pots and in the grow bags, and we'll have a look at those and discuss what I think about them and how I can help you with your victory garden or your container garden and growing more food at home. Yeah, so we've got some plants on the table and I've got some sort of in the grow area for the victory garden. So I'm going to show you the ones on the table. We've got some eggplants. We'll do the two comparisons. We've got one in a pot, another one in a grow bag. There's a little difference between the two. And then I'll give you a look at the victory garden. You can see what's in pots, what's in grow bags, and what are in foam boxes. And the reason why you might want to use a bit of a variation or something similar that you can come up with trying to save your money. All right, let's keep moving forward here and we will have a look at these. We got three here. So these are actually just beans. So they're the snake beans. But what we've got here is two of the long eggplants. So the long ones, not the big round ones, because you need a huge pot for those. These will grow quite well in this. And this one's actually got its first little flower, which is really great. I'm really excited about that, which means that we will eventually start getting some fruit. And you can see some little buds coming out here. And we've got a little tomato come up in there. I've got so many tomatoes, I'll just get rid of those. And we've got this one here growing in a pot, which again has a few more litres. And we had some cold weather. So this heats up a little bit more than this guy. This one does get warm, but it lets more airflow in. Now, it's sunk down, so we've probably lost a good litre in there, but this is sunk down as well. But you can see on this plant, there's a lot more sort of growth down the bottom here. We've got a lot more sort of bottom growth happening. So new branches coming out and got some new growth at the top, but no flowers. Beautiful leaf formation. This is just growing in my compost, guys. Beautiful leaf formation. Really happy with that. No yellow spottering, no green veins or anything like that. So this means this plant is really healthy. This one, yeah, it's doing pretty good as well. Really stoked with the progress of those. So let's go and have a look at the foam boxes and the things going on in the victory garden. Actually, I'm going the wrong way. Let's go this way. Remember I said you can't grow big eggplants like this. Look at this guy. Yep. Look at this. You need a really big pot to grow an eggplant like that. This guy needs to be cut back. He's getting a bit big. I love showing that off, actually. You've noticed probably in some of the vlogs. Let me know if you have it down below. And we have the Victory basil box. If you haven't seen the video on how to grow these, check it out. Wasn't that popular but shown by YouTube, so if you missed it, you can go and watch it there. We've got little spring onions down below. Lettuce in here. Now, lettuce are great for these big wide systems because they don't need a big root. They don't have a big root. They've only got a shallow root, only go down maybe halfway down into the box, maybe a little bit more. And we just keep that really moist so they don't go bitter and grow and they get liquid fertiliser. They're about due for a liquid fert very soon. And we've got down here another basil box. These are holy basil down here on the way up. Now, grow bags. You can see the light's hitting it, nice and warm. The water's going through. It'll soak down into the bales. And when we get a bit of rain and some good weather, I'm getting mushrooms popping up. So you can see that this system's starting to work. It'll probably start to collapse a little bit, so hopefully not too much. But yeah, they all just seep down into that system, and we're creating soil down below. So by having that there and soaking through, I'm actually working on the soil, so building a soil system. If I ever want to move this, I can plant later a fruit tree there or some perennials there, and the whole thing will just be alive, man. Whatever I put in there later will just go gangbusters. I could even put a vegetable garden there, like a no-dig system or something like that. So for now, though, this is the Victory potted garden, and it'll probably stay like that for a very long time, I reckon. Let's keep moving forward. Now, you can see these guys are growing in pots. This is a guava tree, and it's very happy in there. And then we've got a bay leaf growing in here as well. More lettuce finishing up in foam boxes. Lettuces and parsley, really good for foam boxes. And your small sort of fruiting plants. So this here is a capsicum, and that's Shirley's plant actually. I've been taking care of it, and she's very happy now. And we're going to have some little, you can see some little fruits starting to go on there. So stoked with that. And then in there, some garlic chives you can see growing. That's also growing in a pot there. Really, really, very, very happy. And I'll take you around and show you, because you haven't seen this. It's getting a little bit dark, but we'll go back into the sun. And this is our cherry tomato getting vined up. So if you haven't seen the video where we're building the trellis, go back a few and check that out. Look in the vertical garden section on my channel, and you'll see how we're going to be putting cucumbers and beans and everything, and how I built that. And it doesn't get a lot of sun. It gets around between 4 or 5 hours here, but we do have some little fruits. So our first fruits on our Victory cherry tomato, which is really exciting, and it's going to grow up here because it gets shade down the bottom, but this sunlight is up here most of the day. So once it reaches up there, it's going to be brilliant. And again, it's soaking down into down below, and those roots will get down to there eventually. I could shove some compost underneath there if I see roots coming through, if I want to set it off and fire it off a bit more. But this is around about a 15-litre pot, and it's growing really fine. Now, herbs that like a lot of water, plastic pots like this with water wells down below that hold water in there and store them. This is spearmint. I wish I had smell-o-vision on here to show you more spearmint, more basil growing in a plastic pot and foam boxes. So shallow rooting plants such as strawberries, leafy greens, lettuces, things like that, they don't have to be in deep rooted pots, containers. But your other plants, they grow much bigger. You can put them in long pots, long deep pots that actually have a bigger root system. And that way, when you're growing, you will get a better success. Think about the light reflection, the time of year that you're doing it, and the heat. So if it's too hot, you want white light. If you're doing seedlings and you want them to come up quick, you want white light around the plant. And if you want the plant to warm up and thinking that it's warmer than it is, so it starts fruiting and growing and getting ready for summer, a black pot is perfect for that. Let me know down below in the comments box if you've got any tips and tricks that you'd love to share with the community here, and those who are working on their Victory garden. Give us a big V and let me know in the comments box down below. How's it coming along for you? What plant, what container is best for you? Share your tips and tricks in the comments down below, because people love listening and watching those. just line it up, and I'll just do a few different things with my body. Can't see my tummy now. All right, have a great day. Happy gardening. We'll see you at the next video real soon. Bye for now.